Hello everyone and welcome to the first video about the color page. And you might ask, what, already? Are we done with Fusion? There is so much more to the Fusion than this. Of course it is. Fusion is immensely huge. You can talk about Fusion almost indefinitely, but I remind you that this is beginner series tutorial and I've covered I've covered everything that a beginner should know about Fusion. I will be making some intermediate and advanced stuff on Fusion, but not within this beginner series. And right now we are moving to the most, in my personal opinion, to the most interesting page within the DaVinci Resolve, because this page has been the industry standard in Hollywood for the past 30 years. And let me say it like this: if you want to edit something, you can use Final Cut and Adobe and pretty much do the same thing that you can do within DaVinci. If you want some special effects, you can use After Effects or any other piece of software to achieve something that you can achieve within Fusion. But if you want to color grade something to the best potential that you can, there is nothing as efficient, as good as the color page of DaVinci. So we need to dive really deep in the color page, because once you've mastered the color page, you pretty much have a pretty well paid job. So let's get going with the color page. First of all, as before, we have some buttons on the left and we have some buttons on the right. The first one is gallery. You can save the color grades that you've created in this gallery. And if you save it in here, you can achieve it within the same project. But if you save it to the power grades, you can achieve it from any project that you're doing. For example, I'm doing these kind of tutorials, so I saved a preset right in here for this kind of video and this kind of lighting. That's why when I'm color grading this tutorial, I will just right click in here and click apply grade, and my color grade is almost done. That's why this is pretty convenient. Got different timelines. Doesn't matter, we'll get to that. Now LUTs. We have the library of LUTs. LUTs is a lookup tables. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, there is a video on my channel about LUTs and how to apply them. Basically, the machine, the software, is going to look how it is going to interpret and to change a certain color within your scene. And once you apply it, it's going to look completely different. It is a great starting point for your color grade. You can find them online and download them and install it in here. So these are LUTs. Media pool as well. It is accessed from any page of DaVinci Resolve, so no surprises in here. Now timeline. Sometimes when you color grade something, you overlay one clip on top of the other on your edit page. Like in here, we've got one clip in here and one clip in here. Once you go to the color page will automatically load only the top clip, only this one. But if you want to color grade the bottom one and you have no idea how to access it, the timeline is here to help you. You click timeline and click on the bottom clip. And now you are able to color grade the bottom one, and you can return to the top one as well. Now clips. Clips is going to display every clip on your timeline. It is easy to access them this way, and you even can copy a color grade from one clip to the other one. For this, you just need to select this clip and middle mouse, like the scroll wheel, you need to press it in order to copy the color grade. For example, I increase contrast in here to some ridiculous amount, and if I want the same thing in here, I just middle mouse click, and I have the same ridiculous color grade in here as well. Reset node grade. These are clips. Notes. This is the note editor where you would spend, of course, the majority of your time when you color grade something. Color grade is created in here differently from any software that you are familiar with, because this color page is using notes. Like before, if you watch my Fusion tutorials, like before, we need to create notes. And one note is being overlaid on top of the other, and the the sequence that you apply your nodes, the corrections that you apply, the sequence matters, and we'll get to that during these tutorials. Now, the effect library, you can apply many effects in here, and we will talk about some of them. I have a video called My Favorite Effects of DaVinci Resolve 18. You can watch it to have a look at some effects in here. Lightbox, it is going just to show you like your clips, not really that useful. Now, this is a viewer, like before, a pretty like useful thing. Let's talk about this. First of all, you can resize it, of course, and you can apply several modes to your viewer. The first mode is called Enhanced. You can apply Enhanced mode by pressing Alt F. This way, it is going to close everything that is on the left and everything that is on the right in order to make your viewer bigger. You can do it manually like this, but you can do it by pressing Alt F to disable them temporarily. Now the second one is called Full Screen. You just press Shift F and it's going to remove the most of things that are in here to make it bigger for you to view your color grade. And the third one, I used to call it full screen, but it's called actually cinema. And you just press P or Control F in order to expand your image, and it will occupy your monitor completely. So I'll typically go between like this viewer and this one when I color grade, but this, for example, one is cool too. Yeah, in your viewer, like before, there are some controls. We're not going to talk about these controls because they are the same. If you are not familiar with them, watch my previous tutorials. And we are going to talk about this one. So this control allows you to enable and disable on-screen control menu. When you are creating something, for example, you're adding a power window, sometimes you need to view it, sometimes you do not. And if you want to view something in here or disable that, you just need to press it in here. Or Shift tilde. Shift tilde is used to toggle it on and off because I need to select something, but the window itself is obstructing my view. So I need to use Shift and tilde in order to toggle it on and off. And I also can select different effects in here that I can use. Yeah, that I can use. That's the end of the sentence. Now we are going to talk about these things because these are, I used to talk about them in the Fusion page and the edit page. They are pretty much the same, but these one are different. And why is that? So this one is called, how do you, what image wipe. When you need to compare two images between each other, you need to use this because when you're trying to copy a color grade from your work or from somebody else's work, you need to be able to view them in here. So you are going to use this button. How is it operated? So you need to save a still. And in order to do that, you need to right click in here, grab still. And then when you are trying to recreate the same color grade, you just open like your image, and then you'll find your still that you want to copy a color grade from, and to create something similar, right click, play still. And now you just can compare them in here. And as you can see, your scopes, they show on the left part one image, on the right part the second image. So this is a pretty useful way how you can match your shots. There are different options in here how you can view all of that. Yeah, but this one is pretty much the only one that you need. Also, there is a shortcut how you can do that. Shortcut is I didn't write it down, but if I remember it, Control W. Yeah, Control W in order to activate this feature. All you need to do is to find a still in your library, press on it, click on it, and press Ctrl W. And now we are viewing two images, the one that we are color grading and the one that we have chosen from our still library. But there is like additional options that you can use in order to view something in here. Because if you right click in here and reference mode, right now we are referencing our gallery, but we can also reference our timeline. If you click in here, this one is going to disappear, and we need to reference our timeline. We select the clip that we want to color grade, then right click on the clip that we want to reference, and we need to click wipe timeline clip, and it's going to be enabled in here. But I prefer using the still method because it is much more convenient than this one. Right click, reference mode. There is also an offline one. We're going to talk about that later, but typically I would use the gallery. Now, there is also this option, which is pretty useful, split screen. Nothing is happening in here because we need to change the parameter. If we select something like neighbor clips, it is going to display 4 clips that neighboring each other. And we can compare multiple clips, but choosing neighbor clips is not really useful. What is useful is, for example, selected LUTs. This way we can view how any LUT is going to affect our image by control holding and selecting a LUT that we need up to 16 of those. And right now I can view, okay, this LUT is doing a pretty image, is creating a pretty image, this LUT is creating something that is completely ridiculous. Yeah, very useful tool if you want to compare something, for example, your LUTs. There are numerous options in here, you can play with them and compare different things. Now, highlight. What is a highlight? If you toggle it, nothing will happen because highlight would show you something different. For example, we can go to a qualifier. Qualifier is designed for qualifying for selecting a particular color or a particular section of your clip that is brighter or dimmer than the other one. And if we select, like for example, this blue color, nothing really changes, right? We cannot really view what we are selecting. So in order to view what we are selecting right now, we need to enable this highlight. Now we can see what we're selecting. A shortcut for this highlight is Shift H. Shift H is doing the same thing. It's enabling the highlight for you to view the effect that you're doing right now. Or rather, not the effect, but the selection that you are making. And if you're making changes in here, you can view what you are selecting right now. Because if this thing is disabled, you're just doing it blindly. And this is not the way things work in here. Okay? Now, we need to talk about Pellet Area. This array of things is called Pellet Area, and we are going to briefly go through them. The first one is called Camera Raw. If you are shooting and if your camera is able to shoot RAW and you're using RAW, this is the tool, the section where you can adjust your color temperature, your tint, your exposure, yada yada, recover highlights, and all of that. Now, color match, this is used if you have this board and you're using before every video to color match your clip. I'm gonna talk about that later. I do not really have that. This is the primary color wheels. This is the section in which you are going to spend most of your time. Color wheels, primaries, the color wheels can be displayed as color bars if this is a more convenient way for you to work, and the lock wheels. We're going to discuss all of that in great detail later. Now, HDR scopes, they allow you to color grade HDR video for HDR output. Yeah. Now, RGB mixer and motion effects, which is available only in the studio version of DaVinci. On the right, in here, we have custom curves, we have color warper, new tool that was available only from the version 17, if I'm not mistaken, qualifier, windows, power windows, tracking in here, magic mask, blur, key, sizing, and 3D if we had something in 3D. Yeah. We have, like, this is like a section, and we have subsections in here. We're going to discuss everything that is in here, well, almost everything. Now on the right, on the bottom right part, we have keyframes, we have scopes, and we have information about the clip. Information about the clip is not really that useful, but the scopes is really useful. You can choose what kind of scopes do you want to view right now: parade, waveform, vector scope, histogram, or all of them at once. Many windows in here, they have this symbol. It means that you can disconnect it from the portion of the screen where they are like connected to and move it freely. And in this particular instance, we're able to open not one scope, but all 4 of them, or like 6 of them if you really want to do that. Okay. These one are the same, and these one are the same, but okay. You can open 4 of them and view your image this way. We're going to discuss vector scope, not vector scope. We're going to discuss our scopes in a greater detail in the next video. And for this video, this is probably everything I wanted to talk about, because this is the introduction to the color page. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.